what was your main motivation when you first got started? Like when you decided, hey, I'm done cooking. I'm done living this life. I'm ready to break up
Mhm.
with old TJ and date this new TJ and be this new TJ. What was your main motivation?
100% honesty, money. I'm not ashamed to say it. But this is how I view money though. It's money is not the source of happiness. It's a tool for happiness. So like just the things that I could do with my family with with uh with financial freedom and more money coming in, and I
Mhm.
would I would maybe get 3-5% raise every year after I was like put through the gauntlet of the evaluations, employee evaluations. Like I hated that. I was that was the there's nothing more. I felt I was like I was kind of humiliated by it. Like okay, you're gonna like I'm in the trenches every day making you money, and you're gonna sit down and tell me all the things that I'm doing wrong and all the reasons why you can't pay me 8%. So
Mhm.
that's what I hated. So I wanted to be able to look in the mirror every morning and like that guy I saw was the only one that was deciding how much money I was going to make.
Mhm.
That's really that was the big one. So a lot of it was selfish. I don't really think selfishness isn't necessarily a bad thing. Um, I'm an Ayn Rand fan. I don't know if selfishness is a virtue. She wrote a book called, but it's
Yeah.
in a way you have to take care of yourself and you got to take care of yourself first. And it's a cliche, but put your mask on before you help the person next to you,
Yeah.
in the airplanes. It's that's a procedure on an airplane for a reason, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you are worthless to everybody else
Yeah.
around you.
That's
So
right.
really, that was it. And I was gone all the time. I wasn't, I was missing sporting events from the kids, and I was missing dinner. And there was like a running joke when my youngest was very small and she was just learning how to talk, and she was counting, learning how to count. And they'd be sitting at my wife and my two daughters would be sitting at the dinner table, and they would count the chairs, 1, 2, 3, and then my youngest would go, "We're missing one." So it's a big joke. No, we still say it now, like 9 years later. We're missing one. So, but that it's funny, but that it wasn't funny. It was like, yeah, you are missing one, and that's not cool. So I do believe that if I stayed in the restaurant business, I would be divorced right now. And it's not. My wife is a wonderful, most understanding person that I have ever met in my entire life. But everybody has limits, you know what I mean? And I think I would have limits because if I'm in a horrible, rotten place, I'm not taking care of myself, there's no way I could take care of her or the family. So
Yeah.
that was all the motivating, really when I had enough of just this eye opening, like I got to do something now because I'm running out of time.
Right.
I calculated it the other day. I only have like, going on like the average age, the average life expectancy, I have about 12,000 something days left, something like that.
That's a little
That sounds morbid.
morbid.
That sounds morbid, but if you think about it this way, if you're it like you once you have like an end date, it's like when you before you go on vacation, you're like, oh, I got all this stuff I got to do before I go on vacation, and you work really efficiently and you get it done. Well, so if you think about, like, I mean, it's just a fact of life. We're not gonna be here forever.
That's
But
right.
if you put a number on it, you're like, oh man, I better get that Airstream I've been wanting to get,
That's
that
right.
kind of stuff. So yeah,
So
it's a
one
positive
thing,
thing.
no, right. It is a positive thing. One thing I'd challenge you on TJ, this is something that we teach in our Dream Life University, and that is like the why and then the real why. And
Hmm.
you've already said it all. Your why is the money, but
Hmm.
really the real why is you don't want your daughter to have to say we have one missing. You know
Yeah.
that that
Yep.
that kind of like tugs at my heart a little bit because I
Yeah.
I don't want my son to grow up and count the chairs and say, oh, there's one missing,
We're
and it
missing one.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a it's a sad thing that
Yeah.
there's a lot of folks out there to where they're not eating dinner with their families because they are married to their jobs. They're
Hmm.
married to that income because they're dependent on that income. How beautiful would it be if they could replace some or all of their income to where they wouldn't have to be absent. You know,
Yeah.
that's what a powerful statement, a story that, well, it motivates me to keep going forward. I hope it motivates our listeners too.
Yeah.
Mm,
It was a playful game
mhm.
for my daughter. It's in my family. I mean, nobody really thought too deeply about it. I was the one that kind of had it inside, like, oh man, that's a like, yeah, it's cute and all, but like that's kind of that kind
Yeah,
of stinks that not I'm coming because I would work late at night. When you're in the restaurant business, you're working when everybody else is playing.
yeah,
So, and my wife is a nurse and she works during the day, so I would leave for work about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would get home around midnight, 1 o'clock. So I would rarely see her unless it was a day off, and I wasn't there when the kids got home from school. I wasn't there for dinner, and now I'm like 2:30. My daughter gets off the bus. I'm standing there waiting for her,
that's right.
unless I get
That's
on
a
a phone
beautiful thing.
call. Then I'm on a phone call, but I'm in the yard at least, like looking for her.
That's right.
So, but
That,
yeah, it's
that's
such a great feeling. I'm so thankful that I can do that now, and it's
yeah,
because
it's
of the
amazing.
choices. And have I arrived? Am I like I'm not? I drive a Kia Forte hatchback. Like I'm not. I'm not rolling Land Rovers or anything. You know what I mean? But what I do have, the things that I am rich in are like they're priceless to me.
That's
It's
abs-
amazing.
yeah, that's absolutely right. I
Hmm.
think that's amazing. Um,